Good morning everyone and happy Saturday. I have started my weekend off with my usual Saturday routine. I was up bright and early this morning, headed straight out on a run with my dad, had a croissant for breakfast, and I'm just finishing off my morning coffee. And when I say that I went for a run this morning, did I go for a run? My goodness me, I was actually feeling really strong this morning and feeling really good, and I ended up getting a season best for a 5k this morning, which I was really happy with. I can't call it a personal best because before my knee injury, before all of the drama llama of the steroid injections, I used to run quite quickly, but since then it's been a really long road of recovery, and I feel like I'm finally getting to a point where I'm feeling so strong and powerful within myself with my runs, which is making me really happy. So I actually ended up running this morning 26 minutes and 24 seconds for my 5k, which I know compared to some people is not the quickest in the world, but for me, oh my goodness me, I was so proud of that, because it's taking me a really long time to get to that point, and it's just been such a long road coming back from my steroid injection. So I was so chuffed with myself this morning. So I had a lovely croissant to celebrate my amazing run, although I won't lie, my legs are killing me now. I'm so tired. I might need a couple of coffees to get me through the rest of today. But yeah, we've not chatted about my knee in a long time actually, and if you're new around here, if you haven't been following it for a long time, then you might not know, but I actually ended up having a really bad knee injury, which has led to something called chondromalacial patella, which essentially kind of just means early onset arthritis is like the best way to describe it. And I have been getting regular, like semi-regular, every 6 months, steroid injections into my knee to help with the movement of it, to make sure that I can like help with the recovery and just keep using it basically, because it got to a point last year, you guys will remember, where I literally couldn't walk upstairs. Like, it was so bad. I was in so much pain. It was really difficult walking like long distances, walking up and down. And the main thing that I have been told is like impact is the worst thing that I can really do for it. Running's okay, like I have been told that I am okay to run, but the thing that does upset me the most is I can never do netball again, which is how I injured it in the first place. And I used to love doing netball. It's such a like fun group sport. So yeah, left knee. But I have had 2 steroid injections since, when did I have my first one? I think it was like shortly after we moved into the house. I think it was like May last year. Had a second one mid-October, and I am probably due for my 3rd one soon. It's one of those where it's quite a like self-diagnosis, where I basically just have to see how I go, because with regards to steroid injections, it's one of those where it could last 6 weeks, it could last 6 months, it could last 6 years. So it's kind of one of those where I just have to keep going for as long as possible, so that I can kind of like spread out the injections as much as I can, because they are brutal when you get them done, like absolutely brutal. The last one that I had done was actually worse than the first, and it's a really funny one, because whenever I said that to people, I'd be like, well, the second injection was so much worse. Everyone's like, oh yeah, the second steroid injection is always worse. And I'm like, why did nobody warn me? Why did nobody tell me? Because I was not expecting this. I was expecting it to be the same as the first one. So I'm really, not gonna lie, really scared to get the 3rd one, because I think it's gonna be quite similar to how the second one was. I assume that they're kind of like just worse each time you get them, but I mean, it's worth it for the result. It's worth it to be able to do my running, do my cycling classes, and you know, be able to like do exercise and things like that, because exercise for me is such a like mental stimulation. It really is more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing. Not that it's not a physical thing. I mean, it makes me feel great. It makes me really proud of myself when I can run like this, but for me, it's all about that kind of like mental release that it gives. And I always just love the endorphins that I feel afterwards. I'm always that person that comes home like, guess what I ran today? So yeah, I really enjoy it. So we'll probably be due for my next one maybe towards the end of April, but it's going to be one of those where I'm basically just going to keep my fingers crossed and try and get it to hold out as much as possible, which is why with regards to like my routines, my workouts and things like that, I do kind of like vary them quite a lot with like swimming, cycling, running, just to make sure that I'm doing different things and really helping it with like the strength training and making sure that I get it to a really good point. So any of like my workouts in between, a lot of it involves like muscle workouts with regards to my legs, my hips and things like that, because it's just really important to make sure that I'm like supporting it as much as possible. So yeah, that was like the biggest ramble in the world, but I feel like we've not caught up about my knee in a really long time, and considering how much it affected my life last year, it's just insane that I've been able to get to this place where I'm able to do these runs and I'm able to do my workouts and I'm able to have these routines, and they just make me so happy. Sorry, I just really need this coffee this morning. But plan of action for today, I think it's going to be a really chill weekend. We have had a little bit of sunshine making an appearance this morning, to the point where I've actually opened the kitchen door, which really excites me. I remember when I was little, my mum used to always have the kitchen door open like the second you saw the earliest signs of spring. And I used to always get so annoyed because I'd be like, Mum, it's not warm enough, like it's too chilly. Whereas now, I totally get it, like totally get it. I'd rather be wearing a roll neck and have the door open just to get that fresh air, that clean country air in. I absolutely love it. So I've had the doors open, and I think we might pop to the garden centre this afternoon because rumour has it, ranunculus are back out. And if you are looking for a low maintenance, long lasting flower for your garden, ranunculus are some of the best flowers that you can get. They're very similar looking to like peonies. I really like them. They're really interesting looking. They've got like loads of layers and loads of petals, and they are absolutely beautiful. So I really want to pick up and plant some ranunculus today. We might pop in to do a little bit of shopping if Alex wants to pick anything up, and then tomorrow I've actually got my family round for a Sunday roast, which I think will be really lovely. I've been really getting into my roasts since Mother's Day, and I cooked my Mother's Day roast. I'm really proud of them, really proud of them. So until we kind of like get out of roast season, I kind of want to milk it and just make the most of it, because they're not overly complicated and they're not overly like stimulating. It's more just about timing. So it's not like a really complicated cook. It's more just about getting your timings right and getting it all served up at the correct time. And I feel like I can do that. I just put Gardener's World on in the background, get myself a nice spritz to drink whilst I'm doing it. And it's a really lovely way to spend a Sunday. So we've got that tomorrow. And today it's just an Alex and me day, popping to the garden centre and having a really lovely wholesome week. Well, this is definitely one of my favourite weekend sites to come down to. Alex is doing us a lovely bacon and egg brunch, which I am seriously excited about. I must admit, Alex does like the best bacon and egg. I love your bacon and egg.
I do.
And we've got the doors open. The sun has been going in and out. It's a little bit of a cloudy day, but it's just so nice to see. Oh, I say to see a little bit of blue sky. We did have blue sky earlier. Seems to have clouded over a little bit, but I think I still will hopefully be able to get my planting done. But just to have the bifold doors open, oh, I love it. Might not be the most aesthetic meal in the world, but my goodness me, does it taste good. Well, that was the loveliest brunch served by Alex. Thank you very much, my darling. I'm feeling very nice and full now. So we are heading straight out to the garden centre, my favourite garden centre. There's like a little cafe there. We might just stop and grab a coffee. Whilst we're there, I thought I would show you a quick little outfit of the day before we go. It's like the most basic, simple outfit, but I've just got on a little roll neck. I've got my Burberry trench coat because it's finally warm enough to wear something a little bit lighter. So I've got my Burberry trench on because it's just my fave. I've gone for my little Jimmy Choo boots because it does have forecast for rain, so just in case, it just means that they're nice and waterproof and I don't have to worry about that. And then this little bag is a little Johnny Loves Rosie number, and it's the cutest thing in the world. So perfect for just like weekend escapades and things like that. I'm not showing you actually Alex's new coat, which is really nice. It's a cute little Dickies coat, which I really like. Are you wearing your new boots as well? New boots, Clarkson inspired.
Thank you.
Absolutely loving it. We're both looking very country chic today.
What's that meme go like?
What meme?
Bonita. I feel bonita.
Do you feel bonita?
I feel bonita.
Good, because you love bonita. Right, let's get going. We found the ranunculus. Look how pretty these are. I mean, they're just so stunning, like the layers on them. Have you got any favourites?
The bulbs are like nipples.
I definitely think some whites. It's a shame they don't do purple ranunculus. I don't even know if that's a colour. I'm not feeling the bright yellows, but I'm thinking like the light pinks, the deep pinks and the whites are all going to look beautiful. Still got lemon jug at the garden centre. Cannot wait to get that out, and I'm still thinking about this lemon bowl. I love this collection. It's one of my most favourite collections I've ever seen. I think this is just the cutest little thing for, like, you know, your tablescape in the summer. I really love the olive ones as well. These have been living rent-free in my mind since we came here a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I just love them. I also really love this collection. We've got very much a green theme outside. These cushions are really, really nice outdoor cushions. And I love these glasses. They've got these like leaf imprinting on them, which I think is really, really cute. This huge serving dish, oh my goodness, look at it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love this collection. Am I the only person that didn't know that you can pick up L'Occitane products at the garden centre? Oh my goodness me, they've got like all of my favourites. This is nuts. We've also got some Neal's Yard over here. Oh my goodness. Safe to say that was a very, very successful shop. I'm looking a little bit disheveled now because we did actually end up getting caught out in the rain at the garden centre. It's been one of those days where it's been like sunny, raining, but I currently look like I have half of the garden centre sitting on my kitchen table. We've got more outside as well, but we have some gorgeous flowers that I have taken home ready to be potted up and planted that I'm so obsessed with. So of course we went for the ranunculus, which are such beautiful flowers. I really, really love these. So I got 6 because I'm kind of envisioning 2 big pots of 3. So I've kind of like mixed and matched with regards to the colours. So colour scheme wise, the garden this year is mainly going to be pinks, whites and purples, which I'm really, really excited about. I think that's going to be so gorgeous. And I just absolutely love the ranunculus. Like, look at how stunning this is. It's like a really exquisite rose, and they do last a really long time. They're great for pots as well. Like if you've got some gorgeous little pots that you can put outside. So I've gone for a gorgeous, just like a plain pink one. I've then gone for this one, which is like half pink, half white, sorry, with like little bits of pink here. This one, which is such an interesting texture, like it's almost like fluffy, which I really, really like. I've gone for 2 plain whites, which I think will look really good. And then this fella, oh my goodness me, look at the size of him. Like compared to the size of my hand, it is absolutely huge. And then there's lots of ranunculus in the buds, which are hopefully going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to pop those up. And then I also picked up these, which are not in my colour scheme, kind of, but I just couldn't resist them. I could not resist them the second I saw them. They're this gorgeous pastel colour. I don't even know what they are. What does this little thing say? They are primulas. Antique apricot rose. They are absolutely gorgeous, and they're just such a like light pastel-y colour. So I've got 2 pots of those. So I might do really little pots, or I might put these in the same pot. I haven't quite decided yet, but I just thought these were absolutely exquisite. Like I've never seen anything like that. So I'm not entirely sure how they last or anything like that, but I just thought these were so gorgeous. I then picked up some chives, which, as you know, I need to replace the little herb that did not last in my windowsill. So Alex really, really likes chives with his like breakfast and with eggs and things like that, so I thought I would pick those up for him. We've then got some like compost, I've got some soil, and then outside I've asked Alex to put this straight outside because it's so heavy I literally could not even lift it, but I have picked up this absolute beauty. So I got this plant pot, which this is the Heritage range, and I already have lots of these, as you can see. Exhibit A, this is my little rose bush, which I thought was budding, but it doesn't look like anything has been happening. I think it's just been too cold and wet recently. But yeah, so I've got this because it's going to be, I'm kind of planning like mix matching pots. So this is like same but different. So we've got the Heritage Garden sign there, and it's really gorgeous, kind of like white colour, whereas the rest of mine are all sage green. So I thought that would be really nice. And these are, let me remind myself, where is the little thing? Here we go, there's the little note. I always like to read these. I feel like I should cut them out and like keep them in a book just in case I ever forget what things are. But these are rhododendrons. They are Christmas cheer rhododendrons, which I'm not entirely sure why they're called Christmas cheer, because to me they look very summery, very like spring summer. But these are perfect for a pot, ideal for tubs and shrub borders. So yeah, really, really love these. Love the kind of like pinks and whites that are in them. I just thought they were absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to pot these up properly as well. So I'm going to get my gardening gear on and and pot up my new flowers. We've got a couple of hours left of daylight, so I can get these potted up quickly with the new soil, the compost and all of that, so that they are outside giving me a little bit of colour, because that's the main thing. I'm just really looking for colour right now in the garden, because it's just all browns and greens and it's just not inspiring for me. So I want to add a little bit of inspirational colour into the garden, and hopefully it's going to stay dry for the rest of the evening, because it has been raining on and off a little bit today. So fingers crossed the rest of the day is dry and we can get these potted up and planted out. Gardening outfit of the evening. I've got my little Phase 8 quilted jacket on. I absolutely love this. It's like the perfect thing if I know I'm going to be getting lots of mud and soil on me. Obviously got my jumper and leggings on, my little Jimmy Choo boots, and just put my glasses on so I can see properly. Managed to just catch the last couple of hours of sunlight. That golden hour glow is just making me so happy. But look at how the flowers are looking. They are all potted up. It's a little bit messy, but I think it's due to rain tomorrow, so hopefully that will wash away the soil. I've swept away as much as I can, but I am in love with how these are looking. Oh, we are losing the daylight quickly. It's going very blue very quickly, but of course we've got the rhododendrons here, which look absolutely stunning. The ranunculus, which I just love. I think they're so beautiful. I can't wait to see more of the buds coming into bloom. So we've gone white, pink, 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 white, which I really like. And then of course, oh, I've already forgotten what these ones are called. I'm gonna have to write this all down, otherwise I'm going to forget. Maybe I need to keep like an actual gardening book of everything that I'm potting and planting and how it's looking. But if anyone has any tips on like pot styling, help a girl out, because currently they're just looking like this. Obviously we don't have any garden furniture out at the moment. I did actually ask Alex whether he thinks it's worth getting the garden furniture out yet, but it's still not quite time. And I was debating whether to get the table out, because it would have really saved my back with regards to today's potting, but it would have been a lot of effort to get the table out when I think we are forecast rain again for another few days. So I figured it probably wasn't quite time, but this is just giving me the perfect amount of colour in the garden. Now look how beautiful they are looking, and these should hopefully last pretty much all summer, so I'll be able to move them about depending on where I'm wanting the pots and how I'm wanting to style it and things like that. And I really love, so we've got this kind of like very light sage colour, we've got this like darker green, and then we've got the white, so it's like mixing and matching, kind of same but different, and I just think it looks so gorgeous. So I'm really happy with how those are looking. It was a very spenny garden centre haul, but totally worth it in order to have the perfect flowers, the perfect blooms ready for spring. Honestly, this site is just making me so happy. I feel like on camera they just don't come up as well, but in person it's just giving it the perfect little pop of colour that you can just see from the kitchen, which is just bringing me so much joy. Oh my goodness, I'm just loving gardening right now. I really have become such a granny, but it's just so wholesome, it's so fulfilling, and look at the results. I love it. Apologies for the noise of the fan and the absolutely horrendous lighting, but it is quite a while late now. I've just gotten out of the most relaxing incredible bath I think I've ever had. I won't lie, gardening is like real back-breaking work. As I said, I was thinking about getting the table out, but I figured it just wasn't worth the time, so I was bending over and squatting down and doing the pots, and I literally afterwards was like, oh my goodness, my back, I feel so old. Despite the fact that I use my knee pillow, which I always get loads of questions about that, it is the cutest little gardening set ever. I would definitely recommend it if you've, obviously Mother's Day has been and gone, but like birthdays or anything like that, if you're looking for a gift for your mum, it is such a perfect one. So yes, I've just gotten out of the bath and I am feeling so refreshed. I've just done my evening skincare, which I thought I would just show you because I'm loving at the moment. I use the L'Occitane eye serum. This is the Immortelle Reset eye serum, so I use that on my eyes, which is so lovely. I then use the ordinary hyaluronic acid, so perfect just to give your skin a bit of a replenish, and in the evenings I also use the Immortelle Reset serum, and then lastly I put on the Elemis Pro Collagen Night Cream, which I absolutely love, and just to finish off with the Rituals lip balm, which this is a really lovely lip balm, just like a really thick one, great for evenings. And then I have slathered my body with the L'Occitane, lots of L'Occitane products, but my goodness me, you know I love it. And of course when it came to my bath, I had to use my L'Occitane La Provence bath foam. It is just my absolute favorite thing in the entire world. So yeah, but I slathered my body, and this is the Creme Ultra Rich Corpse, the Ultra Rich Body Cream, dry and sensitive skin. Oh my goodness me, this is like the perfect thing when you're just like wanting a real good pamper and you just want to like give your skin the biggest drink possible. I absolutely love it. It takes a little bit longer to sink in than other creams, but it's totally worth it. And I've just got on my favorite pair of cyber jammies now, which I absolutely adore. These are not, you know, sexy lady jammies. These are cozy, comfy, hunkering down for the evening jammies. And I'm just giving my hair brushing because there's nothing worse than when my hair feels like it's all knotted and matted. This is the Tangle Teaser with the handle, which is my favorite brush ever. So I'm gonna enjoy my evening. I think I'm just going to hunker down for the evening and just relax, because I feel like I haven't stopped today. It's been one of those days that's just been so busy and so hectic, but it's just my favorite kind of Saturday. So we are gonna hunker down for the night. We're planning on watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's the film that won like all of the Oscars at the Oscars recently. It won Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor? And Best Supporting Actor, and it won a few other awards I think as well. So I'm really intrigued as to what it's like. It sounds quite Marvel-esque, and the lead character, she's actually been in quite a few Marvels. She is drop dead gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I wish I looked that good when I am that age. So yeah, really excited about that because everyone has been talking about that film. So I think we're going to watch that tonight. I might order a takeaway and just have a nice, cozy, relaxing Saturday evening, which is my favorite kind of Saturday evening. So I'm going to leave the vlog here for tonight, and I will pick back up with you guys tomorrow. I am cooking a roast, so I'm really excited about it. Hi, my name is Ellie, and I am an outfit repeater. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am wearing the exact same jumper that I had on yesterday. I did not want to put anything else on this morning when I woke up, so I decided to put this one on. Although to be fair, I've changed up the leggings. I have gone for this cute little pair of wide leg trousers, which are so perfect for a Sunday because they've got an elasticated waistband, and Sundays are for elasticated waistbands. Sundays are not for tight, restrictive fabrics, they are for comfort. And we've had a lovely Sunday morning this morning. After being told that it was going to be raining all day today, we actually woke up to clear sky, so we decided to make the most of it. We went out for an early morning walk. I don't know why, I woke up actually at 6 o'clock this morning, no idea why, but I had my morning cup of tea in bed, and I actually opened the windows, opened the curtains, and just let the sunlight stream in, which was the perfect way to start my Sunday. I absolutely loved it. We're so lucky here because all you hear in the mornings is just the birds twittering away, and it really is just the most magical way to wake up. So we headed out for an early morning walk, which was really lovely, just in our local area. I feel like it's just the perfect way to like blow off the cobwebs, and especially if you had like a big meal the night before, you can walk off your meal, just get the body moving. I really love that. And it's also just a nice way to like chat, unwind, garden, catch up with your partner. So Alex has actually headed off to the gym now because a walk is definitely not enough for him, but I am freshly washed, dressed and ready for the day, and I am ready today to make a Sunday roast. I'm making a roast today and I'm really excited about it. I'm a little bit nervous, because the stakes have definitely been raised. It's quite funny actually, I've made a roast every single Sunday for the past 3 Sundays now. So I did one 3 weeks ago as my practice roast because it was the first time I've ever cooked a roast in my entire life. So I did that one mainly just as a practice. That was literally just Alex and I, no pressure was on there. He kind of like walked me through it because he's done quite a few roasts now, and he like helped me out, and it was just to kind of like get the lay of the land. And I actually did that one as a main practice for last week, which was Mother's Day. I just had my mum and my dad around, which was really lovely to cook her a roast because my mum is the queen of roast. Like, she does such a good roast, and we used to always have them like pretty much every single Sunday when we were kids. So I kind of wanted to, as a little Mother's Day treat, as well as her gifts and her card and everything like that, I cooked her a roast, which was so wholesome. And I decided, whilst we are still in roast season, I really want to make the most of it, and I've actually got all of my family coming around this afternoon for our Sunday roast. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I am a little bit nervous because I feel like the stakes have raised a little bit and the pressure has increased just ever so slightly with a couple of extra heads. But I'm sure it will be fine because roasts aren't overly difficult. It's mainly just like getting your timings right and making sure that you've like seasoned everything and oiled everything as you need to. So yeah, that is the plan of action for today, but we need to talk about the film from last night, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was awful, absolutely awful, and I feel like this is going to be such a controversial opinion to have, especially because of how many awards it won and how like popular it was and how it kind of just like took over the Oscars. But it was just so weird, like really odd, and not weird in like a creative way. I wouldn't even say it was weird in an indie way, because a lot of people said it was like a really indie film. Just a lot of the humor I found a bit inappropriate. I found quite uncomfortable. The storyline was so here, there and everywhere. Like, I did struggle to keep up at some points in terms of like, it's very difficult to explain, but she like jumps across these multiverses and like where she is / why she's going there, who, like which version of the person she was talking to, whether they were that multiverse version. It was just really odd and so much longer than it needed to be. Like, Alex actually turned to me halfway through and went, do you even want to watch the rest of it? But I was so invested by that point. I was like, we have to watch to the end because hopefully it's going to get better, hopefully it's going to make more sense. And it didn't. Like, there was even one scene that literally could have been done in like 2 minutes, and the scene lasted like a good 20-25 minutes, and I turned to Alex like, bloomin' hell, they're elongating this. And I think the best way to describe it is it almost felt like you know how the creators of, is it Rick and Morty, apparently get high to write the like each episode, because that's the only way that they can kind of like come up with the crazy ideas. It kind of felt like the writers were on something when they wrote this, because it was just so bizarre. Like, one of the main focuses of the whole film was this bagel, and like they were literally like, and all you saw was a circle, and so you thought it meant something, about coming full circle, and it was like really important. Turns out it was because the main actress, or the like secondary actress, the daughter, had put everything on a bagel, and they're like all hailing this bagel, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Why are they hailing a bagel? Oh, it was just, I'm sorry, it was absolutely awful, and I really did not enjoy it. So that was 3 hours of my life, and it was nearly 3 hours that I will never get back. So I've wasted my time on it so that you don't have to, because it was not a good film. And I like a lot of different films, I like a lot of different genres, but this was one that I just can't find a single good thing that I liked about it. So yeah, not one that I would recommend. Chicken has gone in. We have got a very big mama for today's roast. She's absolutely huge. I've gone for chicken because I'm not experimenting with anything today. I'm just going with what I know. So I've got a very big chicken to feed 6 people this afternoon, and I'm going to get started on the roasties in a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick Gardener's World on, because I must admit I do kind of get it now. You know, in films when you would always see people like drinking a nice glass of wine, like they'd have some music playing and like they would enjoy the cooking, and I never used to understand that, whereas now I'm really starting to get it, and I'm really starting to enjoy my cooking. So I'll stick Gardener's World on. This is like the 2022 episodes as well. It's nothing new, but I never watched it last year, so I've gone back to last year's episodes and I'm watching them as we go. And one thing I picked up the other day that I am really enjoying is this fruit cordial. It's from Robinson's. Now, I'm not really a big alcohol drinker. Like I might have a glass of sangria, you know, when we're away, or I'll have a glass of wine socially, but especially when I'm by myself, I don't really drink wine all that much. So if you're looking for like a non-alcoholic, really lovely drink just to have whilst you are, you know, cooking your roast or making dinner or anything like this, this is a crushed lime and mint fruit cordial, and it's almost like a non-alcoholic mojito kind of type drink. So I'm going to pour myself a glass of this. This is where I kind of wish that with my my herbs that I'd got mint, but otherwise I just would not have enough space. The rosemary I will be using for my roast potatoes, which I must admit there is nothing more wholesome than using your own rosemary. I won't lie though, the basil has been the one that we have used the least, so maybe I could replace that with mint. Or I could even do mint in like a full-on tub and put it outside. Don't worry, I'm not silly enough to put it in the ground. I'm not silly enough to put it with anything else. I know that mint takes over. So if I was to do it, I would make sure it's in its own little contained pot. So I might do that because this would be so lovely just to stick a few sprigs of my own mint leaves in that as well. But just like a little glass, a straw, some ice in there. Oh, it's just so lovely and refreshing. Also, by the way, in case you're wondering, I'm not wearing my rings today because with everything, like all the meat handling, all of the oil and things like that, rings are the last thing that I feel like I need. So I've taken those all off with regards to my cooking. In case you're wondering where the rings are, they have completely been taken off. I just have the most minimal jewellery on today. So yeah, I'm gonna pour myself a glass of this and we will get going with the roasties. I didn't peel them, and this is one of Alex's secret methods, and honestly it is so good. I really like it. So what you basically do is just cut the potatoes, parboil them, and then you shake them. You like bash them about in the pan, like empty out all the water and bash them about so that they get a little bit like fluffy, I think is the best way to describe it. Then obviously add the oil and the seasoning, and oh my goodness me, they go so crispy and so yummy. So you literally just bash them about like this. Tablescape, and I've just gone super simple because obviously there's going to be a lot of us and there's going to be a lot of plates and dishes served up. I feel like it's missing a little bit of height. Maybe I need to get some little posy jars. I mean, once the garden is in full bloom, I'm definitely going to have lots of opportunities to create little posies for tablescaping, but for now we've just gone super simple. I'm using these napkins again, which I absolutely love. They say on it, "You're super," and they are from H&M Home. So super simple tablescape so that we can make sure that it's, you know, the food is the main focus, and just a lovely celebration for the start of spring. My goodness me, if I am looking a little bit disheveled and a little bit bedraggled, it is because I've actually just spent the last hour on the sofa sound asleep. I had the biggest food coma and really needed that post Sunday roast nap, because if I do say so myself, that was an incredible roast, and I am so proud of myself for cooking that and for being able to cook for, ended up being 5 people, one person couldn't make it, so 5 people to cook a big Sunday roast for. I was really pleased with myself. I won't lie, at one point I literally almost forgot the broccoli. Like, I served everything else up and I remember looking at the plate thinking, looks a little beige, what am I missing? The green of the broccoli. And so, like, as everyone started helping themselves to the chicken, I was like, oh, I forgot the broccoli, and I had to like serve it up almost as everyone was starting to eat. So almost had a little bit of a blunder, but honestly, I'm so proud of myself for doing that, considering what a novice I am with regards to like cooking, with regards to the kitchen. Like, it is just making me so happy getting into my cooking and getting into these like really wholesome things, because it just fills a Sunday. Like, I really don't know how my mum used to do that every single Sunday, because you spend like pretty much the entire day planning, prepping, eating, recovering from the food. Like, it takes over the whole Sunday, but it really was just the perfect way to spend probably one of the last roast Sundays we will have. I think the second we hit April, it's not going to be roast weather anymore. At least fingers crossed it won't be. But one thing that I did, which I feel like is a really good piece of advice with regards to hosting and making sure that you are like lightening the load, and also, like, as a guest, you want to be making sure that you're bringing something for the host that's going to be useful, that they're going to want, that they're going to use, is to kind of delegate tasks a little bit. So one thing that I did say to my guests is, obviously, I'm doing the roast, and I asked one person to be in charge of puddings, I asked one person to be in charge of drinks. So it's a really nice way of making sure that they are bringing something for you that is obviously going to be eaten, everyone's going to be able to enjoy, and it also just makes sure that you don't have to worry about those things. I mean, I always have things in the fridge anyway. I remember seeing a TikTok, and it was about like 3 things you should always have in your fridge to be a good host. Number 1 was sparkling wine, just in case you ever need to pop it for a celebration. Number 2 was cheese. I'm not entirely sure why. I think that's like if ever you want to cook pasta or something. And number 3 is your herbs, because you always need your herbs in the fridge. But yeah, it was just a really nice way of making sure that they kind of got their like tasks and their jobs, but as guests they can also bring around things that I, as the host, I'm very appreciative of. I won't lie though, my house currently stinks of roast. I think I might actually like this. This is my Rituals Oriental Vetiver candle, and oh my goodness, it's me. It's just one of those, oh, absolutely incredible smelling candles. So I think I'm gonna light this now, because I can really smell the roast wafting through the house, and I think I just need something really relaxing that is going to take the scent away. Oh, honestly, it's just incredible. I want this to take over the entire house and just fill it with this beautiful smell. I do need to get some more of those Cook's candles actually, because they are great at eliminating food odors. But one of the things that I was doing whilst I was napping / lounging on the sofa and letting my food digest, I've been doing so much garden planning and prepping. I've been creating so many mood boards over on Pinterest. It's a great one actually if you want to follow me. If you really miss outfit photos and you really miss just like styling pictures and things like that, follow me on Pinterest, because I do post all of my outfits over to there as well, so I'll leave it linked down below. And also you can follow any of my boards, because I create home boards, fashion boards, like things like that. And one of my biggest ones at the moment, it's called Gardening Gals, and it's basically the visions, the inspiration and the motivation for the amazing garden glow up that I want to create. I really want to have just this huge like spring glow up. I feel like I've just been waiting for that recently, and potting up my new flowers is definitely the start of that. I feel like I wanted to get the furniture out in March, but it might now, due to the weather, be probably the beginning of April that we get the garden furniture out. And I always find at the start of the season it's just so good to have like a good wash, scrub of your garden furniture, get it all out, get it all fresh, ready for the new season. And I have just been making so much progress with regards to the inspiration and the motivation for the garden and what I want to be doing. I really just want to fill the entire decking with like pots of flowers and plants. Actually, what I might do, I might put a few photos here of the kind of inspiration that I am taking at the moment, because I am just loving collecting all of the imagery and getting so inspired and so excited. And as I said, colour scheme wise, we're definitely going for whites, purples and thick pinks, because I think it's really nice to have a bit more of a colour scheme just to kind of like bring your garden together. One thing that I've really been looking into as well is looking into flowers that bees love. Ranunculus they love, lavender they love, which I planted back in February, that I'm really excited about. I'll have to have a look at the rhododendron to see if they love that. But yeah, flowers that are going to be really well loved by the bees, that I can just fill my garden with, because I want the borders to be filled, I want the decking to be filled. And I actually placed a little order on Zara Home. I found some amazing outdoor pieces on Zara Home in the sale, and I snapped them up. I think I got the last ones, so I will hopefully be able to show you those bits really soon, because I am super excited for them, and just super excited to get out in the garden and properly make it my sanctuary this summer. It's one of my favorite things about this house, is having those bifold doors. You really do have that like indoor outdoor space, and I feel like every single room in the house I've pretty much ticked and pretty much got to the place that I want it to be. The garden is kind of like the last room that I'm like ready and just itching to tick off, because this summer it is just going to be an absolute sanctuary for me, and I'm so excited for that. I have loads that I want to be planting. There's so much that say that it can be planted in March, but because of the bad / cold weather, I've not wanted to do it. Whereas now I feel like we really are on the up in terms of weather wise, in terms of temperature wise, and hopefully we won't have any more frosts this year, fingers crossed. I mean, you never know, occasionally we have had snow in April, but seeing as though we had the snow in March, I'm really hoping that that is the last of the cold weather. But yeah, I am really getting so excited for it. So I think I'm going to spend the rest of the evening doing a bit more inspiration and a bit more mood boarding. I think I might see if I can find a notebook as well and write down the flowers that I have planted, so I can really keep track of them, make sure that I remember their names and what I planted, when I planted them. And it just means that I can kind of keep more of like a journey with regards to my garden glow up. So that is the plan of action for the evening. I'm going to get this makeup off, get into my comfies, and spend the rest of the night on the sofa. So I really hope you guys enjoyed spending the weekend with me. It's always really lovely when I can whip out a weekend vlog. It's so nice. I feel like now that we're down in Hampshire, we just feel our weekends so much more. They go so quickly, and they're just full of all of my favorite things. So if you're new around here and you found me through this video, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button, or if you watch these videos regularly and you haven't yet subscribed, it would help me out so much if you hit that button. It literally takes less than 2 seconds and just help me out to know that you want to watch more videos, and also means they appear at your subscription box. So every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. So I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.